Hey Taurus, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a timeless tarot and oracle reading for you. Welcome to my backyard. This is a little bit of Dragon's Blood Sage. You guys, we're just going to be asking what's coming towards you at the time of seeing this. What do you need to know? And whenever this comes across your feed, the idea is that's when you were supposed to see it. That being said, of course, be discerning. If it doesn't empower you, if you don't like the message, you hold that power and never give it away to tarot. All right, so we're going to start with a mudra deck. And this is an oracle deck that also gives us kind of a hand gesture to do in prayer. I want to say thank you for everybody for your prayers. Actually, speaking of which, for my eyes, I have a little eye infection that I am just getting over. So I apologize that I can't see you face to face. It's too sensitive for the light still. So if you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like other Taurus and cross watchers alike to pray for you as well, say hi in the comments section, you guys. That will give us something that represents your energy that we can focus on. Only love and light in this space. Okay, what message needs to come out for Taurus? And thank you so much for hitting that like button. It's just good juju for all of us. I appreciate it. All right, so we start with the message of the will. An objective in mind, I can, I will. Oh, I love this one. Did you guys get this one before? You make basically a steeple, but with your middle finger. It looks like you're like spiritually flipping people off. But then you put your thumbs together, okay? So interlacing all your fingers except your thumbs and your middle finger. And this means each small step brings satisfaction and brings me closer to my goal. This mudra activates the circulation. It's beneficial for all your organs and strengthens you at all levels. I love that. So it's very targeted. This is all about goals, an objective in mind. I can, I will. It sounds very determined. All right, Taurus. So starting with the tarot, what do Taurus need to know at this time? We're only going to take the cards that fly out for you, okay? So if they fly in reverse, we respect where it lands, and I read it that way. All right, what do my Taurus need to know? We start with a card, the Hanged Man. This is ruled by Pisces energy, and this is talking about a slow-moving energy. It's about gaining perspective, and this perspective is very valuable, but usually patience is required. Also, one has to sometimes make a sacrifice for this perspective. So let's keep going. What's coming out for my Taurus? Healing. I love the Six of Swords flew out for you. We've got the Four of Swords for you. So far, this is interesting because it's a very kind of, considering how amplified your mudra deck, your mudra card was, which is like an objective in mind, I can, I will, this determination. You have a very kind of a quiet energy coming through your reading, and it's very solid. It's very grounded, despite the fact that it's all swords. Swords represents our thoughts, our analyzing and research and thoughts and knowledge and all that heady stuff. So it feels very heady, headstrong and determined. But let me tell you what we got so far. So we have the Hanged Man, that's gaining a perspective, sometimes at a sacrifice. Very slow energy, so we'll unpack that soon. We have the Six of Swords, which is healing. This is, you're now in the process of healing and recovery. So this turned into a financial reading, for instance. We would read that in terms of your finances are coming up, you're becoming more stable. You get the idea. We have Four of Swords, which is that quiet place. This is, again, kind of a recovery and a gratitude card. This is going within and kind of connecting with your heart space, connecting with your experiences, and I feel like this is where you're kind of, you're gathering your energy. And then we got the Page of Swords. I want to unpack that before I say anything. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Ten of Cups, which is this goal of happy and harmony and family. And this is specifically geared towards your balance within your relationships. Okay, you guys. So let's unpack these. This is going to be an extended reading for all of my Taurus that love to go deeper into the meanings and get advice. That's the price of a cup of coffee. If you like to follow me there, that's going to be in a link down below in the description box. This is Six of Swords. Wow. Okay, so there is a big transition you're making. And I feel like this is specific to a partnership. For a lot of you guys, this is a romantic partnership. It came out of alignment, basically. You guys kind of disconnected with each other, which might be very uncharacteristic of your relationship, because it being that it is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is kind of soulmate energy. If this isn't a romantic partnership, then this is a really amazing reciprocal understanding friendship or business partnership. But you got it upside down. So this suggests that it was uncharacteristic of you guys, but you became unaligned with each other. Something got in the way of you guys, specifically something that might have carried deception. Maybe somebody wasn't speaking their mind. Maybe somebody did something under somebody else's nose. You guys are all going through different things. But the Seven of Swords talks about deception. And so this is out of alignment. And sometimes deception is denial. It's pulling the wool over your own eyes, right? So tell me about this deception. Anything else we need to know? I love that the sun just flew out for you. That's good. All right. So it looks like this is going to be okay. It looks like it's going to be okay, because we've got the Knight of Swords and the Sun. And what this means is that it's being recognized that you guys you're out of alignment. Somebody's going to be approaching you, most likely that direction. Somebody's going to be approaching you to have a conversation, and it's leading to the Sun. The Sun, when it comes out in tarot, is such a beautiful energy. It just casts its light across the whole reading. It kind of has this current of it's all going to be okay. But this is something that this individual really needs to get off their chest. They need to talk to you. There's almost a certain speed and urgency to the Knight of Swords here. So I think that while it's being recognized that there's a sense of deception that's kind of maybe like a cloud that's passed between your connection with each other. And I think this person does not want that to happen either. So they're recognizing it and they're coming forward. And that's when we get the Six of Swords, all of this healing, and the transition card. This is transformational. Temperance is ruled by Sagittarius energy. It's one cup pouring into the other, this angel. And that's kind of to signify alchemy. Something's in transition here, but here's the kicker. Is balance and patience plays a role too. So now you have two messages, the Hanged Man and the Temperance, carrying that meaning of balance and patience, because a perspective, I think that somebody's gaining, either you or the other person, or maybe both, but you guys are gaining a very, very valuable perspective about one another and a situation. And it looks like healing is on its way. What's this Four of Swords for my Taurus? Okay. So you might feel a little heartbroken still. You might feel a little not deceptive. You might feel a little withholding, like you're not willing, even though you guys might have this conversation and it goes well, there's still, and a couple of you are not actually talking to them, but they're calling you or they're trying to get a hold of you. But there's still this pain. You're still holding on to it. The Four of Swords, that's that quiet energy I talked to you about. And it's pulling in all of your energy. It's you gathering your energy. It's keeping your resources, your energy close to you, keeping your cards close to you. Look at that Four of Pentacles there. If you zoom, you'll see he's holding a coin, a foot. Each foot is on a coin. And in relationship, the coins can talk about your self-worth, your value. I feel that you've been crossed or disrespected somehow, Taurus. And you don't, there's that, it's very understandable when you've been crossed or you've been disrespected that you wouldn't want to forget, right? You can forgive but not forget, that type of thing. And so that's, nobody else can tell you what to do here. This is really up to you. What's this Page of Swords? Well, if you have held on to an argument or you feel right and justified about something, you'll certainly get an opportunity to make that known. I would say with the Page of Swords, like all the pages, it signifies a youthful energy. And we can carry, as tarot readers, we carry this on to sometimes a naive energy. So since swords represent information, it's important that the information that you're getting on the surface, maybe through social media or even jumping to maybe conclusions from advice friends are giving you, let's say, who may not even know the whole entire story. This is where you want to pay attention to the fact that it's a page, and page of swords can sometimes get you in trouble if you take it all to heart. So it's important to recognize that that this might be validating you. It might feel good to feel validated with the Five of Swords, but things are coming out of the woodwork here, and it feels like I should mention that because I think that you need to get all the details. You need to get all the details, and there's no better way than directly from the horse's mouth, as they say. Anything else about that moon in reverse? Yes. So you know that feeling, Taurus, when you speak too soon and you only realize it once the words are out of your mouth? This is, you're doing the right thing by pulling in your energy, it feels like, and if you were worried at all that the other party, the partner of yours that I've talked to you about, wasn't going to take you seriously, they're certainly going to read the writing, or the between the lines there. And they're going to see that they've really done it this time, or they'll see that you've really recoiled, and you can't really fake it, right? So you do you, right? But also you may want to pay attention to where your mind goes in this time. And rather than speaking too soon or committing to an opinion just yet, leave some space. You know how we say, there's that saying of making space for one another? Make some space for yourself to change your mind. Now, some of you guys are going to be very defensive at that, and that's okay. It's going to be triggering, and you know best. That's why I always start every reading. So you have free will, and this is meant to empower you. But if this does resonate, ask yourself why. Because there is the Page of Cups, and it seems with the Page of Cups, this is a delightful energy, and it introduces a playful energy and a glimmer of light and even the darkest places. So making space for yourself, not for them, making space for yourself, that might be a great way to go, because it allows you room to move around, to shape and reform. Something's happening here, and it's all around recovery. Anything else about this Temperance card? Anything else about this Temperance card? Yeah, fell right on top of it. We've got the Nine of Wands. You might have been here before. You might be tired. And some of you guys have been working very hard for a while, very diligently on your healing. Tell me more about this Nine of Wands. There's a bigger change underway, but there's been resistance to it. So the Judgment card, when it flies out upright, now you got it upside down, Taurus, but when it flies out upright, Judgment is talking about a leveling up in life. Kind of a fork in the road where you make a choice, and you know that once you make that choice, Taurus, you can't go back. So by getting this upside down, it suggests that there's been resistance to this. It might be contributing to how you feel. If you're feeling tired, if you're feeling slightly defensive, but you're not giving up, it's connected to this resistance for bigger change. There's a bigger change in this relationship, and I would like to ask about that. Of course, don't you want to know? I'm being nosy. So the bigger change is around being flexible, open-minded about something, staving off enthusiasm, warding it off because maybe it's just too gullible, maybe it's just too unstable. Enthusiasm for what? There's a Tower card. Big change. There's this running message in your reading. I'm going to get a new deck. There's this message running through your reading of change and your relationship to it. And it obviously is connecting to this partnership. It's thrown you out of alignment in your partnership. Maybe one partner wants to change and wants you to come with them, and it's triggering you. And maybe there's been some arguments about it. Maybe it feels that maybe you're questioning the relationship and you're saying, is this where we split ways? But it seems that there's elements of this that you can't control. And I say that because the Tower card always talks about that dynamic. Now, the Tower card is an interesting one because it always comes with an event or events that are outside of your control. All you can control, Taurus, is how you react to them. But the beauty about this card is the Tower is always leading you back into balance, back into alignment. These are those moments that are inconvenient sometimes, or strange, or uncomfortable, but when we move with the flow, they force us to. When we move with the flow, we arrive at a different place than we intended, and sometimes that's just what we need, Taurus, because life is too big for us little humans to orchestrate all by ourselves. We're collaborating with energies around us, but we freaking forget it, right? So the Tower is here. It's thrown a wrench into the works, whether that was an argument, maybe notice that you have to move. Maybe it was a promotion. Maybe it was cloaked in something positive, but it shook everything up. And so when I ask about this and why did it shake everything up, right? It's because, we've made it right back to the beginning. Another Temperance card. They're the exact same, right? Transformation. It's time to transform. So that's your homework. And you get to choose, Taurus, if you want to do that, if you want to work on that, if you want to work on opening your mind around this situation, it's all up to you. But it seems that you've been put in a situation in your relationship where you're between a rock and a hard place. For any of you, Taurus, who are like, hey, I'm single and I don't know what relationship you're talking about, then this is kind of pertaining to partnership. And maybe perhaps your ideals or the way you're going about looking for a partner or not looking for a partner. But either way, you've got somebody coming towards you for a conversation. And we're going to go into the advice. We're going to unpack it further. But I hope that was helpful. And thank you so much for joining me. Please hit that like button and please consider subscribing, joining the family if you enjoyed this. Take good care. Bye-bye.